These crafts are considered as planes here in Africa, bearing in mind that some fly and others don't. This is Afro-engineering at its finest. Our inventor Gabriel had to fulfill his dreams of building a plane, but surprisingly, he's no engineer. No. He's an IT guy that can't find airplanes or instructions on the internet.
He has attached a 74-inch propeller to the engine that turns at 4,000 rotations per minute. He says the aircraft is powered using a Toyota NZD engine.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
His dream legacy was to build everything with his own design, but you'd think he got the designs from his child's homework book. Just look at how wobbly the wheels are. At this point, not even a Rolls-Royce Marlin would shift this thing.
As he wheels the aircraft's skeleton structure for assembly outside his compound, one begins to doubt its stability looking at this front wheel. But he says there is no cause for alarm as they will fix some shock absorbers.
So I don't blame him. It's the textbooks he's reading. But before people condemn this guy for his failure, they should take a look at what they've built themselves. At least this guy is trying something which is better than most of the people criticizing him. If it flies, great. If he balls it up, oh well, at least he took a chance doing something he's passionate about. Even so, anyone who has ever built something must be impressed with this man's dedication and ingenuity.
Soon after.
Floating the plane was a delicate affair.
It looks very heavy, underpowered, and unbalanced. The tail and the wings don't look like the real deal, which makes me question his research. He should build himself a house rather than build himself this piece of junk, if he hasn't already.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
The plane collapsed, but that did not mean the end of the road. The mechanics did their part to restore it.
And this welding guy, is he dodging the helmet the way this plane is dodging to fly?
Even if we are able to make it 3 feet or 4 feet, we believe we'll have moved a big step.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
I understand the inventor is looking for a test pilot. Any volunteers?
So in a spirited mood, they gave the aircraft the push they thought it needed to gain momentum for takeoff. But just when it seemed ready to take the leap, it diverted from the runway and collapsed once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The 800 kg and 75 of the pilot being lifted by a 500cc engine is impossible. The weight is too heavy, and no aeronautical law is respected.
The small hiccups are more so nothing to do with the aerodynamics. They are more so to do with small practicalities like sparking plugs.
But the funny thing about this inventor is, didn't he realize that this plane was too heavy to fly? Did he have to wait until it was on the runway for him to realize that the plane was too heavy? Did he really have to wait to embarrass himself or to take himself through this embarrassing moment of people seeing him fail so that he could realize that the plane was too heavy? Talk about not doing enough research. This is exactly it.
As he builds the new detachable aircraft skeleton for assembly outside his compound, 2 more lie inside his compound.
The last time I checked the dictionary, a plane was a vehicle capable of flying in the air. So yes, he's on the right track.
We redesigned to solve the problem that we had with the first one. Failures in various places, that is the wheels, and the weight. The engine was also very heavy and also weak. So when it came to the new models, I bought an engine made in Germany.
My time has come.
And also the propeller in the first model, we had made a wooden one locally made. So I decided to buy ready-made things.
My problem is, we already have airplanes. So how exactly is this guy advancing technology? I give him a 3 over 10 that this thing flies. I bet it will eventually go airborne.
2,000 years later.
Can you imagine the face of a federal aviation inspector if he saw this thing? Horrified amusement, because this has got to be the most aerodynamically offensive aircraft to ever be made. Elon Musk must be shaking in his boots right now. I admire his ambitions, but I think he should stick to IT. My advice to him is to find a high cliff with a downward slope towards the cliff and jump. This will add to its momentum, ultimately providing enough flow over the wing surface to create the pressure differential on the upper side, which will provide lift.
Thousands of tears later.
Several failed attempts later, 10 aircrafts later, and his dream to fly has not diminished. Every failure has brought new lessons.
Unfortunately, it appears that most African engineers skipped physics class.
Crowd had formed, anxious to see a potentially historic moment. This time, though, what was different is that his two daughters were part of the crowd.
Stop it. Get some help.
With the aerospace wire twist connection, the steel frame support and wheel eater motor combined with African engineering, how did it fail? So if you want to support his efforts, you should send him a parachute and a box fan with 100-foot cord so that he can fly. Fly, my midnight raven, fly.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
But how long did the Wright brothers figure that stuff out? And how far have you come since then? In other words, all the groundwork has been done, so he should step on and move forward from whatever he's doing and not go back to the Wright brothers' days.
A few inches later.
Despite his best efforts, the plane would not take off, only managing to taxi down the airstrip over and over again while tethered.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. I'm sorry.
What's this obsession with Africans and building airplanes? It's an obsession that I will never understand. What are you trying to be innovative about? You can't be innovative in something that is already made. Instead of us trying to build in new kinds of technologies, we're just here trying to build something that was already made. Like, what are we really trying to prove? We are 100 years behind. Because what we are doing here, trying to invent the wheel, was something that was done by the West 100 years ago.
Several bad puns later.
I admire this guy's persistence, considering that he's built 20 planes, but he's still yet to fly. But it could be that the purpose of our guy here is to serve as a warning to others. Anyways, you should page this guy if you want to book a flight.
Oh, here we go again.
Okay, we were not able to have a conclusive result, mainly because of the field is not the best. We tried to fix it with some wooden panels.
I know you want to see the flight part and not the interviews all the time, but there isn't any flying part because it doesn't fly.
12 seconds later.
I guess he built a roadcraft and not an aircraft because these planes could break at any moment. So the only place they belong is on the road.
12 other aircraft he has built before have all failed to take off. He hopes things will be different this time, the 13th time.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
So I expect this plane to fully fly. I expect it to be fully functional. Because you can't have all this and still not fly. I mean, there will definitely be something wrong with you if it doesn't take off.
For a few glorious seconds, Upendo is airborne.
It flies for a good 10 seconds in the air before it blows up into a heap of old car parts and wood shavings. But flying is not a problem if he wants to fly. It's the landing that will be interesting.
For now, however, Nderitu will take a break to stock up on supplies before building his 14th aircraft.
Even though everyone likes the underdog, I would give him credit because if he was truly serious, he would have learned something by now. But he hasn't, and probably never will. I'm not sure what we'll see next. Maybe a space station carved out of wood or something.